Last time on Late and Legends.
Good day, my fine fellow travelers. My name is Giovanni, and I am a knight of the sacred object.
Giovanni is from a family of very successful merchants, but I was not so good at the numbers. So at a young age, I was sent off to a church to learn how to fight and do good things.
My character is, we call him Valerius. He's a wood elf, deep forest. He has been involved with the temple, other elves. We had a split. They were worshiping celestial bodies, celestial beings. I just came to the realization that nature was the true power. Man, the last several decades has been not but hobbit leaf, magic mushrooms, and squirrel friends.
I am Mordecai the Great, although many people know me as Mordecai the Mad. I used to be a famed court sorcerer until I had a little fluke in the middle of a royal proceeding, and I may have dismembered a few people and injured a lot of other ones, only to escape with my life and the clothes on my back.
The borough of Renlin has stood as a beacon of civilization for centuries. What was once a small hamlet on a river port has now become a city of trade and industry, inflated by bureaucratic nobles and miserly guildmasters. However, there are many in Renlin who are not born into this world of privilege. The borough has a dark underbelly, inhabited by crime lords and beasts alike. Not all monsters are afraid of showing their face in the light. It is here that our story begins. Along Renlin's dark road, the peace begins to crack. All right, welcome back to Late and Legends, guys. I hope you had a good week off. A few things before we get started. Last week, we spent a lot of time describing the world that this is taking place in and the characters that you've created, but we didn't really explain how this storytelling adventure works. We sort of assume that listeners have some experience with role-playing board games like Dungeons and Dragons, and I think it's fair to say that we gave a quick primer on how this is going to work, but I think that we should spend some time kind of discussing maybe a little bit about the mechanics, because we talked about things like ability scores, but we didn't really explain what that means. So in a broad sense, Josh, have created a story with events in it, and the guys here, Ben, Brennan, and John, have created characters that are going to play through the story. They'll get to decide an action that they want to do, and then they roll a die to see how well they do it. Each of their characters have different attributes, such as strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, that they use to help them achieve some action. So, for example, John is playing a paladin, which is typically a very strong character. If John's character wanted to climb a wall, I'd make him roll a die, and he has to add his strength modifier to it. He has a certain amount of strength, and he's a stronger guy, so he'll do a little bit better, perhaps, at climbing things than other people. So he's going to roll a die, and he's going to add his modifier to it. And because he's better at that, he has a better chance of succeeding on that die roll than, say, a weaker character like Ben's, who has actually negative modifier in strength. So good on that, Ben. There are a bunch of different types of skills that use these different ability modifiers, and they range from acrobatics to persuasion to sleight of hand. All that you, the audience, and us, the players, have to know is that we are just going to describe an action that you want to do. So you're going to tell me what you want to do, and I'm going to tell you what kind of skill check you want to roll, and you'll roll a die and add your modifier to it, and then I'll let you know whether you succeeded or not. And this applies to just about everything that you can do in this game, from skill checks to melee fighting. Now that we have perhaps a little bit better understanding of how the game is supposed to work, let's do a quick refresher to remind us what the characters are that you're going to be playing. So, John, who are you playing again?
My name is Giovanni de Chambray, and I am a paladin of the Order of the Sacred Objects.
Nice. Brennan, who are you?
I am Mordecai the Mad, a wild magic sorcerer.
And Ben, what do you got for us?
I am Valerius. I am a wood elf, druid, who has spent far too much time by himself.
Haven't we all, guys? Haven't we all?
Oh.
Okay, so today's story. What will happen to Mordecai, Valerius, and the other one, Giovanni? How will they become friends? The best of friends? We don't know. I know because I wrote the story, but you don't know. And now we're starting. Part 1. Mordecai the Mad. Mordecai.
Cut.
All right. Okay. I'm doing this. We can do this, guys. We can get through it. Okay. Ready? Let's go. Mordecai. In front of you sits Frederick Bolster. It's a man you've met before on many, many unfortunate occasions. To his friends, he's Freddy, but today you're not a friend. He's a large, balding man backed by two larger, baldinger men, just enough within the light cast down from an arcane desk lamp to let you know that they're in there in case things go south. This you know because they've gone south for you in this very room on several occasions. Bolster looks up from some paperwork on his desk and looks at you. Mordecai, Mori, it's a shame that I find you in front of me again. I thought we had settled things pretty smoothly after our last appointment. I'm disappointed to see that our conversation didn't seem to stick. Your debt is now 200 gold pieces. Certainly, that's not a lot of gold, at least not to someone like myself. But it is to someone like you, especially when you consider that this isn't the first time that you've been unable to pay a debt back to me.
Come on, Big F. You know I'm good for it.
Morty, we've been over this before. I know that you do what you can, but you don't always pay you back. Listen, I like you, Morty. You've done a lot of good work for me in the past, and I can overlook some of your obvious character flaws.
Oh.
But this debt is going to be paid. I realize that times have been pretty tough for you lately, so I'm going to make you a deal. You're not going to pay me today. Instead, 1 week from now, you're going to walk into my office, and you're going to give me 250 gold pieces for my trouble. You're going to do that, or there's going to be some more trouble. Understand?
Jeez. All right, fine. 1 week.
You understand? This is what's going to happen.
I was agreeing. I was just reiterating what you said, so you know that I was listening.
As you leave, please tell Mary to send in the next guy. All right?
Mordecai gives a little nod and just kind of like mumbles under his breath towards his unhappiness of his situation and makes his way towards the door.
You turn to leave and you open the door. After a quick word with the woman outside, you walk down a hall and exit through the entrance. You close the door behind you and you enter an alleyway.
Okay.
Could I get you to roll a perception check?
Sure.
First roll of the game, boys.
Come on. Ooh, I got a 10.
Okay, so you walk into a dark alleyway. It's nighttime. And you've been in this alleyway before. There's usually, some homeless people and things like that. Tonight, they seem to be cleared out. And for whatever reason, nobody seems to be there. You look a little closer. You see a dark shape pass by the end of the alleyway. And it seems slightly too large to be human. But before you can really make out anything else, it's long gone.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna keep going on my way then.
Okay.
I don't like conflict, so.
Fair enough. You turn, and I imagine you head to one of the only places people are able to look for work in Renlin, the jobs listing board.
Okay.
Part 2. Valerius.
Yep.
You're sitting in a waiting room, and a man passes you by. Could you roll a perception check for me?
Rule number 2, baby.
It's after the M and N's and before the R's.
Okay, there we go.
There it is. Oh boy. Okay. I mean, that's a 2 plus 5. Awesome. Okay, so a guy passed you by. You weren't really able to make him out. He had kind of like a red hat on, but like you didn't really pick up on any of it. Other than that, like he spoke to the lady that is sitting in front of you before he left. So as he disappears, a woman sitting at a desk nearby waves to you and indicates that it's your time to see the man in charge. Living in a city is strange to you. You're not used to the bureaucracy, the waiting, the rooms, the people. I imagine that this all might be a little unnerving to you. At least it was when you first came to Renlin, but now you've been here for a few months. The looming buildings bother you less. Today, you're here to see a human man named Bolster. You've done some jobs for him in the past, mostly the tracking of people that were hiding from him. Today, you're supposed to get a new assignment. You enter the room. It's large and well furnished, as you've come to expect from Bolster. You prefer your trees alive and growing. Bolster prefers it cut, planed, painted, and used to wall himself in. Bolster turns to you. Val, it's a pleasure to see you again. I have another assignment for you.
Very good.
Did you notice the man that left?
Yeah, I think he had a red hat or something to that effect.
Be honest.
So I think he said something quippy to the lady outside as well, the receptionist.
Thanks. I'll make a note of that, I guess. That man owes me a debt, and I've given him until the end of the week to pay me back. I need you to follow him and make sure that he doesn't leave town. He needs money, so you might be able to get close to him by following whatever jobs he decides to take. If he doesn't take a job and instead tries to run, you let me know where, and I'll take care of the rest. How's that sound?
Very good, sir. What does he owe, man?
I don't think that concerns you, Val.
Very good, sir.
All you need to know is that he owes me.
Would it be fair to expect some kind of compensation for this job?
Oh, yes. If you do this for me, I'll offer you the usual payment.
Okay.
Now, Val,
Very good.
this is maybe an opportunity for you to describe what is your usual payment with Bolster.
Refresh my memory. I spent a few too many nights in the pub. What is our going rate again?
Well, I don't pay you in money, Val. I, of course, give you a certain amount of some illicit materials, and you perform services for me.
Oh yes.
I realize that sounds a lot worse than than it's meant to be. I give you drugs, Val. I give you drugs.
Oh well, that might explain why I can't remember what we get paid in.
I'm starting to reconsider maybe hiring you to track somebody.
Very good. Absolutely. I will absolutely keep my eye on him, sir.
Do you have any questions before you leave?
No, I think that about squares it away.
Okay, great. Then I'll see you before too long. So Val, you're leaving the apartment now. Could you roll a survival check? And this is a check to see how well you're able to track him.
Okay. Oh,
Blackjack.
Very nice. All right, so you're going to be able to follow him pretty well. In fact, you can kind of make out his footprints in the dirt as you leave the building.
okay.
And you can see that they go up the alleyway and they go towards the market square of town. It's late at night now, but you figure that you should be able to find him pretty well.
Okay.
You don't see any other tracks in the alleyway, though, just his. Okay. Part 3, the job board. Renlin is a city of constant activity and opportunities if you know where to look for them. For many, that starts at the job board in the market district. It's been 2 days since your conversation with Bolster, and each day, twice a day, you visit the board to see if there are any opportunities. It's been sparse. You managed to get 5 gold unloading some cargo from a local trader. And could I also get you to roll a sleight of hand check and a performance check?
Sure thing. Okay, I got a 20 on the performance.
Awesome.
And an 8 on the sleight of hand.
Okay.
Not a natural 20.
Okay. So you got 5 gold from unloading some cargo from a local trader. You got 1 gold from flipping some blankets that were left unattended. And you also got another 4 gold from performing a few magic tricks on the street, which is kind of your typical tricks of the trade. That's how you usually make money. So you got a little bit there, but it's not enough. Clearly, you owe Bolster 250 gold. So you're going to have to find some serious payment if you're going to be able to pay Bolster back by the end of the week.
Okay.
As you approach the board today, you notice a city guard nailing a sign to the board. What do you do?
I'm gonna like walk behind him, but not, give off the impression that I'm looking at the job board. I want to, if it's possible, could I pick the city guard's pockets using Mage Hand?
Uh,
So it's not actually my hands doing it. Like I'm gonna walk away slowly, and I'll use my cantrip to pick his pocket.
Okay. So what I'll do for that is I'm going to let you use Mage Hand to do that, but you're going to have to roll sleight of hand, but you're going to
Yep.
have advantage on that. So roll it twice and take the highest score.
Sweet. Okay. 19.
Oh, nice. So you found 5 gold in his pocket.
Woohoo!
He doesn't seem to notice either. It's just he's really focused on hammering this like little sheet of paper to the job board, and he doesn't even notice that like his gold is just falling out of his pockets.
All right, so I'm gonna pocket his gold, and the mage hand just kind of wisps away, as if it was just made of wind. I'm gonna walk up beside the guard, put my arm up on his shoulder, and go, "Hey, friend, what do you got today?"
Oh, hi. I'm just putting up some recruitment posters on the board. Could you get your hand down from me, please? This is not appropriate. I am a city guard.
Sorry. We're all friendly here. Come on, it's Renlin. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'll let you go about your business.
He starts to reach for like his purse, just like out of habit, because he's not used to like city people walking up and touching him. So he's just kind of he's checking. Could you roll a perception check for me?
Yes, of course. It's a bit. 5.
Okay, so you have no idea who this guy is. You like he just looks like a blank person in your book. He would blend into a crowd pretty easily for you. He just looks like another guard, but you have no. This guy could also be a new recruit. He could be a senior recruit, and you wouldn't be able to tell because you're so imperceptive.
Gotcha. All right. I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna back away a little bit, give him his space, but I want to move close to the job board so I can see what he's putting up. Like stick my head in there.
So you see that he's hanging up a notice, and this is what it says: "Calling all adventurers. The local garrison is recruiting fixers for miscellaneous work. Full time, 2 meals a day, bunks in garrison. Pay is good. Work ranges from maintenance to pest control to low-level guard duty. Apply directly at garrison."
All right. So has he finished nailing it to the board?
Oh yeah. So he's
Okay.
kind of nailed it. He's taken a step back and like he's looking at you because you were you put your hand on his shoulder and you also took a look at his notice.
All right. So Mordecai is stroking his chin, reading it, and I'm just going to make a mental note of that. And I look back at him and I go, which way is the garrison again?
Well, it's to the north. Are you thinking of applying?
Maybe. I'll just ask a few more questions. It doesn't really say how much the pay is, so
Well, you can ask me.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to bother you. I was in your space. Sure. What does the gig pay?
I mean, like, it kind of varies. Like, if depending on how many shifts you have. I'm new here and I'm pretty like entry level, but I mean, you could make like I don't know, like 100 gold, like a week. Like that's pretty good. But sometimes they give bonuses out for different types of work depending on what needs to be done.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for the information there. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Oh, it's Joel.
Nice to meet you. Have a good day. And I just walk away.
Thank you, the stranger. Bye.
Yep.
I love you. Okay, so what are you going to do now, Mordecai?
Is there anybody else in the market square that looks to be of, say, like a higher noble standing? Anybody walking around with any big chunky jewelry or just, nice things that are visible?
Roll a perception check.
Oh, here we go. My terrible perception. All right, I got a 16.
Okay, so that's pretty good. You can tell that this is kind of not one of the finer areas of town. It certainly seems to be like bustling. There are a lot of activity because it's kind of the market center for this side of town. but you don't see any, wealthy people. You don't see nobles. You don't see anyone walking around just like holding bags of jewelry and like walking about. Like that's just not happening. You do see most people here seem to be, fairly well dressed, but there does seem to be one really slight guy that's down the road a bit, just kind of staying out of everyone's way. There are like a mother and a daughter walking around. There seems to be a butcher passing his wares, but as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anyone wealthy here.
Okay. For the time being, before I head off to the garrison, I'm just gonna set up shop real quick and see if I can make a couple more coin. Just doing some random magics. Maybe
Sure.
cheer the kids up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, the kids are. Oh, they're crying, Brandon. You gotta put on one hell of a performance.
So I'm gonna start off with my usual thing. I'm gonna set my hat down in front of me to collect coin, obviously, and then I'm gonna cast my light cantrip. But I'm gonna juggle the lights, and I'm just gonna keep producing more lights until it looks like there's too many to juggle. Even though I'm not physically doing it, I'm making it look like I'm doing that and just trying to get some attention that way.
All right, roll a performance check.
Cool. Come on. Oh no. 6.
All right. So you start to,
wait, Josh, that was a nat 1.
Oh, Brendan, don't think I missed that. I know that's a nat 1. All right, so you start juggling your balls. It's kind of your typical spiel, and you're pretty comfortable with it by this point. You start creating these glowing orbs in your hands, and you start juggling them a little bit. One goes up in the air, and you're able to catch it. Another one goes on, and you start to catch it. And you're managed to get like 3 or 4 by this point that you're kind of juggling. But even though these are illusionary glowing balls, and you're in complete control of them, one of them just kind of gets outside of your grasp, and it rolls down a little bit, and it hits one of the market tops, and the top catches on fire.
Oh no.
So there's all of a sudden a fire starts breaking out. People are kind of panicking. They were really interested to see the magic that was about to happen. And then all of a sudden, one of the market stalls is on fire. And they're looking at this glowing orb, and they're looking back at you. And you have a decision to make. You can also notice, I'll give this to you, a couple guards have started paying attention.
Oh, God. How can I do this? Well, is there anything around me that I can use to put it out? Like, is there any water or, I don't know.
There are
a bucket of old pee.
A bucket of old pee. There's like a fountain in the middle of the market.
Okay. I'm trying to think, what could I do? Oh, actually, I'll just use another cantrip. Can I cast Ray of Frost on it?
Yes, Brandon, go ahead, cast Ray of Frost on this fire that you've started.
Okay, but I want to make it look like it was intentional. This is another performance.
Oh yeah, this is going to go really well.
I think you might want to check the verbiage on Ray of Frost before you follow through on that one.
Okay. A frigid beam of blue-white light streaks towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against a target on a hit. It takes cold damage.
So make a ranged spell attack. So that's 1d20 plus your spell casting modifier.
21 to hit, 4 cold damage.
Yeah, all right. So
Nice.
you hit the hell out of that fire. That fire started popping up, but as soon as like it started going, you just like finger gunned it, and it just went right out. And then that's all there is to it. A couple of the bystanders do have some frost on like the tips of their hair and their faces, and everyone kind of looks a little upset at you. What the hell are you doing?
Sorry. Got a little out of hand there. Overdoing myself with this trick. My bad.
Guards! This guy's lighting things on fire and putting it out. I don't know what's going on. I don't have insurance.
Oh, crap. You know what? Screw it. I'm Misty stepping out of there.
You're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I'm going to go 30 feet away from myself. So I'm just going to say sorry really quick and then bamf out of there. This blue teal mist just kind of envelops my feet, and then 1 second I'm there, the next second I'm gone.
Okay, so I just want to set the stage a little bit. So Brandon wanted to make some money. He did a really bad job. He lit some stuff on fire, tried to put it out with ice, and then just disappeared out of thin air after saying sorry. And now there's a bunch of villagers just sitting around like, what the hell happened here, man? There's just what was that guy like employed? Like, does he work here? Like, who is this guy? So Mordecai exits stage left. Part 4, the garrison. So Val, in front of you is the garrison. You followed the magician here from the jobs board, figuring that he's either looking for work or seeking safety from Bolster in the arms of the local guard, or perhaps just trying to run away from some fire that started in the marketplace. Before you head back to Bolster, you'll need to figure out which one of these scenarios is true. You enter the room to someone talking. Inside, you see a crowd of people standing and sitting by the wall to your right. Across from them stand 3 guards, as well as a middle-aged lady at a desk. The middle guard appears to be speaking loudly to the crowd. Hello, everyone. My name is Constable Joel, and I've been assigned to evaluate the applications for the recent job posting. I see that we have many more applicants than we expected. We only have positions for 3 applicants, so what we'll do is group you into groups of 3 and have you complete a task. You'll be marked on your ability to complete the task as well as how well you work with others. The guard steps up to the crowd and begins to move people into groups. He doesn't ask you any questions as he approaches you, Val. You just seem to have kind of blended into the crowd. And he looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
Valerius, my good sir.
Oh, you're here for the application as well?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right, I'm going to assign you to this group here. Group 2. All right, they're over there. And he points at 2 men, one you recognize and another that is new. The first one is the magician that you've been following. So good for you. No doubt this was due to your awesome survival skills and not any kind of narrative plot. The second one seems to be a fighter of some sort. You approach them. Okay, I'm going to be taking the first group back to the training grounds. Group 2, you'll probably have a few minutes to prepare yourself before the test. And with that, Joel turns around and he exits through the entrance of the building with one of the groups. Okay, so you 3 together. Do you have anything to say, or do you want to do any preparations before the test, or?
Hey, is this the place where they give out the quests? I'm looking for some quests to do. Is this the place where you get the quest from?
I was going to talk to John's character, but after hearing that, I look the other way. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Whoa, good day to you, sir.
Oh, no. Here, hello. Hi. I'm Morty. I put out my hand.
Greetings, fellow companions. It is I, Giovanni, of the Order of the Sacred Object.
I'm gonna rob him. I want to rob John.
How goeth with you?
Brandon, I want you to roll sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay.
And John, I want you to roll a perception check.
So that's a 6, and I'll play it off like I was falling over.
No, not yet.
Okay.
All right. So Mordecai rolled a 6 and Giovanni rolled a 7, and you're unsuccessful in trying to pickpocket Giovanni, and this is very obvious because he's standing right in front of you, and you just kind of reach your hand forward, and like it looks like you're trying to reach around and grab his butt.
This is a common greeting from where I come from.
How do you know decency, good sir? Can I initiate
It's
combat?
the greeting of the cheeks. It's called the greeting of the cheeks. It's normal where I come from.
I like make an opportunity attack.
Do you? All right. Well,
I knew this day would come.
I'm just kidding.
There's 2 guards over here. They kind of step over and they're like, "Hey, guys, settle down. Like, this is a training session for the applications for this guard posting. Just like
I'm
take
sorry,
it easy."
is this a real garrison, or you take any bums you find off the street here?
One of the guards turns to you. He's like, "Well, honestly, we're actually taking anyone right now. That's no joke."
Damn it.
Well, like bums off the street to me. Yeah.
Fools. They're all fools. They don't understand the sacred quest.
One of the guards turns towards you. Oh, I thought that you were a Order of the Sacred Object. It's kind of weird that you guys are here. I mean, I understand that after the recent, scandal over at the Order of the Sacred Object, that you guys haven't been as active lately. But I mean, it's really kind of cool to see
Do
you
not
out again.
speak to me of the scandal. You know not of which I speak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold your tongue, filthy commoner.
Okay, well, based on that, nothing else is happening here. Are you guys done? Like,
Yep.
Okay, all right.
I'd like to press Mordecai and just ask him maybe, hey man, like, did you see the thing in the like the post in the town, like, or or what brings you here, like?
Pointy ears. Don't see a lot of you around here. I'm here for the gold. What do you think?
Steady work, eh?
I don't know about steady, but I mean, money's money. Yeah.
I'm also pretty new to town, so I mean, you know what? Like, let's try and best these other guys. Let's see if we can't get the positions.
All right, Morty's already stopped listening, but he just kind of nods anyways.
I like to think that maybe Ben's pause in his speaking isn't actually because he didn't know what to say next. He just is maybe he's had a little mushroom that morning.
May Giovanni speak with the desk clerk?
Yes. Is there something I can help you with, dear?
Yes, I was wondering if there was any way I could be a part of another more well-rounded and competent group of adventurers. These two seem like they've taken a couple too many shots to the head, if you know what I mean.
She looks over at Mordecai and Val, and then she looks back at you. Okay, I see what you mean. It wouldn't really be fair to the other group, though, if we gave them one of. I don't know. Maybe we can give you a handicap. Do you need a handicap for the training?
May the object crush you. It's a good day.
Okay, and with that, you take a step back away from the secretary, and as you do, Constable Joel steps back into the field. He returns with three pretty drab-looking characters. A young male elf is being held up between a dwarf and a human man, and all three look pretty beat up, but the middle one seems barely conscious. Joel escorts them back to the sitting area and then turns to you three. All right, group 2, are you guys ready to go?
Thumbs up.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Thou st always ready for a challenge. What are your terms?
Well, just follow me, and I'll escort you to the training field, and we'll go over some ground rules, I guess. Ground rules at the training grounds. That's pretty funny, eh? All right, sorry. We'll just go. All right.
No, it was great. It was great.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I get it. Some people, they don't have as good of a sense of humor as me. Okay. So Joel escorts you out through the entrance of the office and around the side of the building where you can see what appears to be a training field. At the far end of the field, you can see a few targets for range practice. Can you guys roll a perception check for me? All three of you.
Coming up. Oh, second one of the game.
Nothing gets past my metal eye slit in my helmet.
I think I'm waiting for Val, right?
Yep.
Tell me, long ears, what do you see?
Okay, all right. So, Mordecai, you're blind.
Gotcha.
You could be anywhere right now.
Oh, it's so bright out.
Yeah, the sun is right in your eye, and in fact, you turn to face the other direction, and the sun is still in your eye, and you don't quite know what's going on there.
I was going to pull my hat down.
Giovanni, you are able to see a bunch of targets. And in amongst those targets, you see a bunch of automatons.
Ah, yes, like training bots they had at the academy.
And you turn to ask your elf friend, what he saw. And he kind of has this glazed look on his face. Like he's not really there all the way. Like it looks like maybe if you stirred him, he'd be able to pick up, but he doesn't seem like he's on the ball right now. Joel turns to you guys. The last group didn't do too well in this trial, but I'm hopeful that you guys will succeed where they failed. As you can probably see in front of you, that there are 5 clockwork constables. Your job is to dismantle the constables as a team. As we mentioned before, you'll be evaluated on your teamwork as well as your effectiveness. Do you have any questions before we begin?
Can I initiate a charge maneuver to try to get advantage on the automatons? Or
Are you saying you want to surprise attack the automatons that have been set up specifically for a fight trial?
yeah.
Sounds about right.
Okay, we're going to go to Giovanni Duchambre. We're going to go take a look at your skills. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, I don't have any sneaking. In fact, I have a negative modifier to stealth.
All right. Well, what I was going to say is that you can roll a stealth check with disadvantage, and then I will allow you to see if you can jump on these guys, I guess.
What's disadvantage?
You roll twice and you take the lower one.
Oh, fudge, of course. Damn it.
Okay. Joel turns to you guys, say, hey, do you guys have any questions before we begin? And then Giovanni just pushes Joel to the side and just runs straight at the automatons. The automatons are not fooled by this. If automatons had the capacity for confusion on what is about to happen, maybe they would feel, why is this guy charging at us? But they don't, because they're automatons, and they just see this guy charging and they get ready for the fight. And Joel screams out, hey, fine, okay, you can start. And with that, I would like you guys to roll initiative. Hi there, everyone. I'm just going to take a quick break from the action to go through a few announcements. First, thanks to everyone who is listening to the podcast. It's nice to know that people seem to enjoy it, and that was just the pilot with a bunch of goofballs talking about D&D. Here on out, it'll be mostly story, though I might be open to doing a behind the scenes at some point if there is enough interest in it. If you're interested in becoming a character in Latent Legends, please like and share this podcast on Facebook or Twitter with the hashtag LateandLegends, lowercase, all one word. I look to audience members when coming up with names for new characters, and I'm happy if I don't have to make up a fantasy name like Storm Dragonsbane on the fly. That's silly. For instance, this week, Constable Joel is named after our good friend Joel, who plays in a folk band with John and I. It's called the Daybreak Johnnies if you want to look it up. I have lots of characters coming up, so lots of names will be needed. Also, I've set up a Patreon page for the podcast where listeners who are interested in donating to the podcast can throw in a few bucks. You can find it at patreon.com/LatenLegends, all one word. There's no pressure to do so, but you might get a few perks like having your name mentioned as a patron at the end of the podcast, or even getting us to say a message for you. You can no doubt hear that our audio quality is lacking. And one of the first things I'd like to do is buy a proper audio setup for Ben, and then maybe Brennan. John has told me that he's gotten a new mic, so I expect that by episode 3, we should be getting better audio from over there. That's it for announcements, so let's get back to the action. Okay, so we should be good to go. So Automaton 3 starts out. He's first in the order, and he's going to take a couple steps towards you. He kind of gets in line with the other automaton here, and he's going to pull out a crossbow, and he's going to fire at you, Giovanni. Does a 20 hit?
Yeah. What? Sorry.
You take 7 piercing damage.
Oh! Oh, God. That hurts a lot.
That's beautiful.
That is incredible that does he get a bonus? Because that's a critical hit too, or?
It's not a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
So it was an 18, and then he had a +2 to hit.
I thought his first combat roll I had to face was a nat 20. Concerning.
That would be really setting the standard for this.
Sweet sacred object that hurts. I'm trying to stay in character as much as possible here.
Good. I'm glad that you do. It sounds great. Giovanni, I'm going to grant you a point of inspiration.
Ah,
Ooh.
yes. What does that do?
That allows you can expend that whenever you have to do a check of any kind, and it gives you advantage on that check. Valerius, you're up.
And I see the automatons. I see them shoot Giovanni. So I'm going to just dip behind the crates and cower a moment.
Okay. I need you to make a Is there a hiding check?
Stealth or sleight of hand, I think.
Yeah, I want you to make a stealth check, Ben. Okay. So Val, you try to hide behind the boxes here. and you rolled a 2 plus 1, so that's 3. And you're not fooling anybody. It's almost like a person is trying to poorly impersonate somebody else that's hiding, and nobody's fooled by this. Everyone kind of looks at you weirdly, and so you're not hidden.
Very good.
Good use of a turn. Automaton number 2 is up. Automaton number 2, seeing Valerius run, kind of catches his eye. So he's going to fire a shot with his crossbow at Valerius. So he had a 6. Does a 6 hit you, Val?
No. Yeah, no, he just miss.
All right, so the shot goes wild, and it just sticks into one of the boxes there. All right, Automaton number 4, he's going to take a couple steps forward and actually engage with Giovanni Duchambre. He's going to slam you with the shield. Does an 8 hit?
No.
Yep, that's a safe guess. So he goes to try and hit you with his shield, and you just stand there as the shield hits you, and nothing happens to you.
Nice try, you robot fiend.
All right, speaking of Giovanni, you're up.
I will strike it back with my longsword at this foolish automaton that struck at me with his shield. Boom.
All right, yeah, you hit with a 21. It just smashes right into the automaton. You do 4 slashing damage to him. All right, Mordecai, you are up. So Giovanni has struck automaton number 4, and you realize that you have a chance now to do something. What is that?
Well, first, do I know anything about any of these automatons? Do I know what they're made out of?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah, let's do that. I got a 17.
Okay. So you've seen automatons like this before. Sometimes wealthy traders are able to afford them to do manual labor for them. You haven't really seen them in this capacity before. Like, you don't usually see them fighting. They're much too expensive, and typically they're not built well enough to be able to stand fighting. These ones looks like they've been reinforced a bit. So they have like reinforced joints, so they're a little bit better put together. And it looks like they have modular parts, so they would be easy to take parts off of them and put new parts on if you needed to. Your understanding of how automatons work is that there's a mechanical component, and there are arcane components. So it usually has some kind of arcane core that is responsible for powering it, as well as some of its base behaviors that are usually ascribed to it by whoever's made it. So that's what you know about automatons in general, and that's what you can kind of grasp based off of these automatons.
Is it safe to say they're made out of some sort of metal, or are they like wood? Or
there are parts of them that are metal, and there are parts of them that are wood. Most of their joints are metal, and most of their limbs and like larger body parts are wood. And they have a shield, and they have a mace.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement to kind of go up beside the boxes also. I want a little bit of cover. And then I will cast level 1 Witch Bolt at the automaton directly in front of John.
Okay.
I got 16 to hit.
Okay, so that does hit. He takes 7 damage.
And then on each of my turns for the duration, I can use my action again to deal another 1d12 to that creature.
Actually, you know what? Is that lightning damage, or what type of damage is that?
That is lightning damage, yes.
Okay, so he's dead.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so Mordecai, you fire a shot into the automaton in front of Giovanni, and it bursts in sparks and then just crumples to the ground. It's still all in one place. Like, it hasn't exploded, but it's just kind of crumpled.
That'll be my turn. I'm just going to stay where I am.
All right.
Well done.
Automaton number 1. He sees his automaton brethren fall, and he takes a couple steps forward and swings at Giovanni, mace style. He rolls an 11. Does that hit you, Giovanni?
No.
All right. Well, the automaton goes wild and tries to swing at you with his mace, and it doesn't even phase you at all. Again, you look at the grim body of the automaton in front of you, and you just tower over it as it attempts to hit you, but nothing happens. Automaton number 5. This guy is going to take a few steps forward, and he's going to try and shoot at Mordecai with his crossbow. Oh, he got a nat 1. So it just shoots off into the air. I guess seeing his automaton brother in front of him just get shocked with lightning and crumple to the ground was too much for him, and his emotional circuits start to kick on inside of his body, and he shouldn't even have those, but they put it in because he was an experimental automaton, and they turned the off button, but like seeing his fallen brother in front of him just turned it right back on, and he just got a little too emotionally invested, and the shot goes wild.
Sad R2D2 noises.
Yeah, he makes a lot of sad R2D2 noises. Automaton number 3, he's going to also fire a shot at Mordecai. He has disadvantage on this as well because you are also hiding behind some barrels. I don't think this is how cover works in 5e, but I'm just going to do this for now. He shoots you with a 13. What do you got?
Yeah, he hits me. I have a 12 AC. So
he fires a shot off at Mordecai, and it pierces you. It's just like this perfect moment where it just goes right between the gaps of the boxes, and it just hits you right in the shoulder blade.
Ah, it's smart.
And you take 6 piercing damage, which brings you down to 9 because you are weak.
I'm a squishy boy.
All right, next, Valerius. What do you got for us?
Okay. Emboldened by the automaton being struck by lightning, but mortified by Mordecai getting struck mere inches from me. Okay, I'll move up to the one behind Joel there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Joel has taken a step away, by the way. He doesn't want to be involved in what's going on.
Yeah, he's evaluating us.
Oh, well done, man. That's pretty good. I mean, you missed them clearly, but your damage would have been really good if you had hit them.
Damn it.
So you come to swing down on top of the automaton, and the automaton just raises its shield up like it's trying to keep rain off of its head, and your quarterstaff just hits on it and just kind of flops to the side. All right, automaton number 2 over here. He takes a step forward, and he tries to fire a crossbow bolt at Giovanni.
You'd be so lucky to try.
That's a 18.
Nada.
Not today.
Not today.
All right, so he goes to shoot at Giovanni, and it hits his armor, and it just falls to the ground. That's all that happens. Speaking of Giovanni.
Yeah, quick question. Ben, what's your AC?
12.
And Brandon, yours is also 12?
Yeah, we're both weak boys.
Because I have a bonus action. No one spells a bonus action, which I think means I can cast it in addition to my combat action and give one of you two bonus AC. Who is closer to dying? I guess Brendo.
Yeah, Mordecai for sure.
That's how bonus actions work, right?
Yeah, so during, say, a fight scene, you have 3 actions you can do.
Yeah.
You have a move action, then you have your actual action, which is usually like a fight or you're casting a spell or something. And then you have a bonus action, which is usually like a very small action that you do, like saying something to someone else, or sometimes it is picking up equipment, but not always, things like that.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Gonna move here and attack the automaton in front of me.
Okay.
It's going to be a one-handed longsword, normal roll. Ooh.
All right, so that does hit.
Nice.
So he takes 6 slashing damage.
And for a bonus action, I want to cast Shield of Faith on Mordecai.
Okay, and what does that do?
It will give him a shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration.
All right, well, that's a solid turn. Mordecai, you're up. You have a +2 now to your AC.
Okay, cool. So I'm up to 14. I'm going to try and help Giovanni out. And
oh, actually, this reminds me of something. Brandon, can you roll a d20 for me?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Wild Magic Surge. Just a single d20, right? Okay.
Yep.
10.
All right, you're fine.
Okay. I'm going to try and help out Giovanni with a cantrip, but I'm going to use my Minor Illusion. I would like to make Giovanni look bigger, more menacing.
Minor illusion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna increase his stature.
The object that you're creating can't be bigger than a 5-foot cube, though.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just gonna do it on top of you, from like your waist up. It's adding another 5 feet.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like this. Can you roll a performance check for me?
Yeah, of course. I'm still a little out of sorts from taking the arrow to my shoulder. So I got a 16.
Okay, you're fine. Excellent. 16. Could you also roll a d20 for me?
Of course. 6.
Okay. All right. So you cast minor illusion. From your fingertips, this dark kind of blurry haze kind of comes out as you point them at Giovanni. And all of a sudden, on top of Giovanni's shoulders appears another Giovanni. And they're kind of meshed together. So it's like there's Giovanni on the ground, but it kind of looks like he's also holding himself on his shoulders a bit, 5 feet higher. And with that, I'm going to say, Giovanni, you have advantage on intimidation checks.
Okay. The automaton table talk. The automatons don't have feelings, though, right?
It's up in the air. You don't know that.
I thought you said the one that had was an experimental one that was made to have feelings.
There might be more than one that has it.
Okay.
Maybe you don't know Giovanni. You know nothing about automatons. He didn't do an insight check.
You're right.
All right, automaton number 1. It's his turn. All right, so he kind of watches the two Giovannis walk away, and as they do, he returns focus to Val, who has now appeared in front of him, and he's going to hit at Val with his mace. There's a 15 hit, Val. All right, you take 7 points of damage. Brings you down to 5. It is now automaton number 5's turn. Automaton number 5 doesn't seem to have a clear shot at Val or Giovanni. They're slightly out of his way, so he's going to try to shoot at Mordecai. So that's a 16 to hit.
I'm down.
So your hit points, your AC is 12 plus the 2 from the shield. That's 14. That's definitely not going to do it. So you take 9 points of damage. So you are at 0, actually.
I am at saving throws, yes.
So when it's your turn, you're going to do a saving throw. Okay, automaton number 3. He's going to step forward, and he's going to swing at Giovanni. He rolled a 10.
Nope.
Yeah, I figured. So he swing and a miss, and nothing happens. Val, you're up.
Okay, I am going to try and assault the automaton in front of me again. I'm going to blast you, you infernal machine.
Oh, God. All right. So you go to swing at the automaton, and your staff just breaks.
Oh, God.
So you go to swing at him two-handed, and you hit him square on the head. It's a really clean hit, but your quarterstaff just snaps in half. Half of it goes flying in front of him, and the other half is now just in your hand.
My good walking stick.
Yeah, the automaton just looks at you with its cold, dead eyes. All right, automaton number 2 over here. He's going to swing at Giovanni as well. 14?
Nope.
Yep. Just another day in the life of Giovanni. Speaking of which, Giovanni, you're up.
I'm going to go after the same guy I've been going at for the turn for 2 now. I'm slowly beat these guys down until Mordecai is almost dead, and then I will heal him. Oh, and that hits for 7 slashing damage.
Nice. All right, that was automaton number 2 you were hitting at?
The one that I did damage on before.
Okay. So he takes 7 slashing damage, and he's down.
Yes.
Okay. Mordecai, make a saving throw. So roll a d20.
11.
All right, so you have 1 tick in the success column.
Yay!
All right, it is now automaton number 1's turn. He has just been smacked with a quarterstaff. He looks a little confused because usually this is not how fights go for him. Usually either he gets smashed to pieces or the other person gets smashed to pieces. Rarely do the instruments being used get smashed to pieces. But he does decide to try and slam you with his shield. So he goes ahead, brings up his shield and tries to smash it at Val. That's a 17.
Ah!
All right, you take 5 points of damage, and
I will do it.
and Val
will
hits
do it.
the ground.
Oh God.
Ah.
All right, Val, you are now making save throws. Excellent.
Seeing as I now have to fell all of them on my lonesome.
Yep. So you went in against 5 automatons. 2 are down, but also 2 of you are down. And here we are. So now we're into automaton number 5's turn. He is going to take a shot at you, Giovanni, over top of the corpses of his 2 robotic brethren. He actually had a critical 1, so his crossbow just kind of explodes in his hand. Constable Joel, meanwhile, is kind of looking on and he's taking notes. Like he's pulled out this little clipboard and he's like, "What's going on?" Okay, and he just looks very sad. He's sad in a lot of things. I don't want to get too into it, but like it just seems like this fight isn't going how he hoped it would go.
Nobody here is getting 100 gold pieces a week at this rate. That's for sure.
Well, maybe somebody is. Okay, it's automaton number 3's turn. He's going to take a step forward and kind of face you a little bit better there. Giovanni is going to hit you with his shield.
Well, he's going to try.
And he misses. Yeah, it's nothing. Val, I need you to make a saving throw. So just roll a d20. Nice. All right, so that's a success. You need 2 more. Giovanni, it's your turn.
I'll strike at the automaton that is north of Giovanni. So longsword again.
Give it a whirl.
Oh yeah.
That's a hit. So he takes 5 points of slashing damage. Mordecai, saving throw.
Coming up. 17.
Awesome. So you have 2 successes.
Check.
Automaton number 1 is going to take a step up, and he's like kind of stepping past the corpse of his robotic buddy here. And he's going to hit you or attempt to hit you, as is with any case against Giovanni, with his mace. And it misses. Automaton number 5, he's going to take a couple steps forward, and he's going to swing at Giovanni with his mace. That's a miss. And automaton number 3, he's going to try and hit you with his shield. He's a real shield guy. He likes his shield. You might not be able to tell the difference between his shield and his mace. And that's also a miss. Next is Valerius. Valerius, could you make a saving throw?
Ooh.
That's a 9, so that's 1 in the death
Oh
column.
no.
And Giovanni, you're up again.
I will swing at the one I've been swinging at. Try to kill him.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a miss.
a miss.
All right, so you rolled a 9. It just wasn't enough. It kind of glances off of his shield, and nothing happens to him. Mordecai.
Here we go. Oh, 1 in the fail column.
All right, 1 in the fail. That's too bad. You had two successes. Having you up would have been real sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back to automaton number 1. He's going to try and hit Giovanni. This is really not that interesting of a fight. And he swings at you with his mace. And he misses, because that's how this fight's going. Automaton number 5, also going to swing at Giovanni. What's happening right now is you have like a couple like crossbow shots that have kind of like gleaned off your armor, and there's just these 3 automatons just smacking at you with their maces, and nothing seems to be doing anything.
This is what Giovanni trains for.
Well done, Giovanni. You picked the right side. All right, nothing happened there. Automaton number 3, firing away. That's also a miss. All right, Val, make a saving throw. Hey, that's another
Nice.
success. All right, Giovanni, you're up.
Here we go. Let's kill a robot.
Swing it again.
Is that it or no?
That's a miss.
Damn it.
God. All right, Mordecai, make another saving throw.
Oh, no.
That's
Nat 1.
all right. So you are 2, or wait a moment, rolling 1 or 20. When you make a death saving throw and roll a 1 on the d20, it counts as 2 failures.
Guess who's dead?
This is like that Dark Souls game.
It really is. And he just spawned at a bonfire.
Can you guys do anything?
Me?
Is anybody able to stop this from happening? Thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast. The next part will be coming out next week. If you're interested in hearing more about us, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Patreon as Late and Legends. Again, thanks to John and Brendan for the music they wrote for this episode, as well as a special thanks to Cody and Brendan, again, for the artwork they've created. It looks great. We'll see you guys next week. Remember, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for up-to-date notifications on all of our adventures. Remember, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for up-to-date notifications on all of our adventures.